can tell us how proud you are to have something like this in Enniskillen.
Absolutely disgusted. I've never seen anything as bad in my life. Yes, I'm delighted. I was born I was born in the Erne Hospital. But I lived in Castle Street here, which has since been knocked down, as all you know, but it was just up here. So I spent all my formative years were spent in and around the castle here in Enniskillen. I think Enniskillen's perfect town for a festival. I think we've got some great venues. You know, I'm sure everybody's looking for a bit of a sticky beak, as they say in Australia, into some of the places that they've never seen before. And I would suggest that you use this opportunity in the festival to think, well, I've never been up, or I've never actually seen that place. I wonder what it's like inside. I'm looking forward to going and having a look around a few of the places and the venues. And I think it's a really brilliant, I mean, we're very lucky to have Sean Doran. He is, he can program a festival of international importance. We're starting right at the high end. And, I really hope this becomes a fixture for the town.
So how did you get involved with this festival then?
Oh, a friend of mine, Jerry O'Boyle, who's down in London and from Cork, called Sean, because I was doing a play in Dublin here not too long ago, and said, David would, be very interested in doing some Beckett. So Sean called me, and lo and behold, here I am.
And I'm sure Sean was very pleased to have the likes of yourself endorsing the festival, given that this is its first year.
I think that's one of the draws for me, one of the magnets, is the fact that it is the first year, and you like to be involved in the initial attempt at something, because there are no preconceptions, and we're gonna have some rain in a second, aren't we? Lovely Enniskillen, huh?
It never rains in Fermanagh. Just this evening. Arlene, we have some quite big names in Enniskillen this evening. Can you just give us an idea of what this means for the town in Fermanagh as well?
Well, I think one of the most important things that I've just learned is that there are about 10 or 11 international journalists here in Enniskillen. So for us to be able to sell Enniskillen and what it has for people to come here, I think is hugely important. So that's the kind of attention that the Beckett Festival has brought to Enniskillen, and I just hope that we can capitalise on that. Obviously we have big names like David Soul, our own Adrian Dunbar, and then over the weekend we're having a lot of international actors and directors. Antonia Fraser is going to be here. She and her husband Harold Pinter were actually friends of Beckett, so she's going to be here as well to talk about all of that. Edna O'Brien is here, so it's tremendous and it's fabulous, and it's all happening in Enniskillen, and I'm really, really delighted.
And just in long term, what are your hopes for this festival?
Well, I hope, and I said this at the launch, that in 10 years' time we're looking back at tonight and saying, do you remember the night we launched this festival? So I'm hoping that it grows into a truly international festival that we look forward to every year, and visitors who come back to us every year, and it just brings more tourism to Fermanagh, and it really puts us on the map.
Alan, you're responsible for this masterpiece that we see behind us. Yeah. Can you just give us some idea of the amount of work that was put into getting this here for this evening?
This stage, well, what you see here is all the wood essentially. When I got the pieces, I ironically scorched them, so all the marks that you can see here are all done using flame. I got a wee bit carried away. Actually, it cut completely out of control. I had the fire and it destroyed the pieces. So now you've got the sort of relics, what's left of beautiful 100-year-old pine timber.
It did, hit a bit of a snag, but you've sort of adopted the show must go on attitude towards it.
It has to. It's a strange thing when you mix show business with art, because I know as a bronze caster that until it's in bronze, it's very, very fragile and I brought the pieces here originally in wax for people to see, and the sun, I hadn't factored on it being a sunny day in Fermanagh, and the sun melted the queen and her head went down like this, and that's how fragile they are. But once they're in bronze, they're virtually immortal. I can guarantee they work for 4,000 or 5,000 years.